Hey everybody, it's your girl Nisha, aka Nisha the West, coming in for another edition of Industry Conversations One on One. I can't tell y'all this week I think it's just like been a crazy week, especially entertainment wise. So many people I think have just went off the rip, just basically going live about certain things. So much political stuff that is like going on right now. I think that is just so ridiculous, especially about the COVID vaccine. Even basketball players who have literally decided, to take a stand against it and not really, decide to take it. So, of course, it's your choice of whatever you choose to do in regards to the vaccine. Just as well as you have musical artists who are also speaking out against it. I don't know if you all are on Instagram as much as I am, but of course, there are so many artists that are on Instagram right now. Of course, how they retweet things, how they post things in regards to how they feel about how the governor is mandating a lot of things. Even with Texas, there's so many things that are going on right now. I think not just in the industry, but pretty much as the nation as a whole. Even like the stimulus money, like we're running out of so many things right now. I mean, the pandemic has really hit everybody really hard, and people are just dying. Basically, everywhere. I think it's just been a tough time for everybody. Tough time for music. And tough time, basically just for families in general. Holidays are coming, Thanksgiving's coming, Christmas coming, and so much stuff that has gone on this year. It's just unbearable just to think about what will basically happen, how individuals will feel, coming with the holidays and things of that nature also. But of course, we always have my boy DJ Gates that's going to be in the mix with me tonight. Also, independent artists, if you have dope music, please make sure that you send it to us here on Industry Conversations 101. Log on to Instagram, click on Industry Conversations 101, like the page, just as we want you guys to enjoy the content that we have, but make sure you click the link, click the bio, and just send us your music. Now we're going to get into the mix with my boy DJ Gates.
All I know how to do is keep it down. Vinny good looking, bro. Word of me. Lord, I love a few women. I'ma keep it a bed. Niggas ain't honest, I'm honest, so they won't understand. I'm not a perfect, I'm a man. This is real life shit. They all mean something too, a nigga. Ain't that a bitch? Lord, I love a few women. I'ma keep it a bed. Niggas ain't honest, I'm honest, so they won't understand. I'm not a perfect, I'm a man. This is real life shit. They all mean something too, a nigga. Ain't that a bitch? Beautiful ain't the word from the Republic of Dominican. Met when we were 17 one day, if you remember when. I was scared to talk to your black hand to pass the word. Got me nervous, thought you was the baddest woman in the world. Always stood out, not only gorgeous but was smart too. From the heights, me and the homies, we used to slide through. Roller was always cool, but I ain't want you fucking with me. Cause I was a D-block nigga that always kept it blinking. Never was official, but established the bond. Love letters and late night convos of what we was on. I'm familiar with true love until I met you. Fine gazing in your eyes, I knew that you was special. Did some immature shit back when I was a jet. Was a little nigga mentally, I admit that shit. Mama love used to like me, so how could I not? But through the years, truthfully, I feel I fucked up my shot. Lord, I love a few women, I'ma keep it a bed. Niggas ain't honest, I'm honest, so they won't understand. I'm not perfect, I'm a man. This is real life shit. They all mean something too, a nigga. Ain't that a bitch? Lord, I love a few women, I'ma keep it a bed. Niggas ain't honest, I'm honest, so they won't understand. I'm not perfect, I'm a man. This is real life shit. They all mean something too, a nigga. Ain't that a bitch? Brazilian back.
Ya tú sabes la barbera. Y siempre shit, come on. Talk heavy.
Night, midday.
Thought that bird don't bite. All my diamonds bright. Like my force is white. My demons come out at night. Took a L, a little tumble. Now I'm balling like Matumbo. I was brought up in a jungle. Real rapper, I don't mumble. I got Bitcoin stocks and bonds. You would think that I'm a con. Never been like I'm a con. Multi-sided polygon. Work for me, ain't got no boss. Got some blessings from a loss. No relationship, I'm single. Stack my chips like they was Pringle. Making money like the handle. You was hot, but then the wind blew. All my dogs are shooters. Clip me on like rulers. Diamonds on my necklace got me feeling like a cooler. I learned life without a tutor. Give me facts, I don't do rumors. Pockets growing like a tomb. Cut him off cause he do too much.
Yeah, it's your fucking boy, man. It's been a while, man. You know what time I'm on, man. I'll be my man Really Brim too, man. He on my mind, man. You feel me? And I got him on my head. You already know. Thanks. This the shit that I'ma drop when I make it. I'm the arm with the greatest. Louis Vuitton, all park Mercedes. Want my moms and them out there by the lake, bitch. But bring back a childhood and build an escape key. Do I wanna kill y'all niggas? Please don't make me. Do I wanna kill y'all niggas? Yes, no, maybe. I'm just focused now, I'm building a fortune. Trying to crisscross on them freeways with my boys and them Porsches. Trying to see my niggas winning all the time, ain't no losses. I'ma do it, please believe me, Keith, I got you, I'm on it. One of the realest, never folded, even back in the corner. I never told you how I trapped on the corners. It don't really matter now, man. I'm happy I'm off him. Now I just carry a pistol, ain't no pack while I'm walking. I'm flamboyant, your man saw right there on Lennox. RP the big L. He tried to book me, then he took that big L.
Wake up, rise and shine. You know what it is, it's money making time. Straight cash green, all I see is dollar signs. King space on, taking over on my mind. So I'm getting ready, everything going right. Rolling sexy look in my black pinstripe. Smile on my face, on that paper chase. But the head down, let me grab my briefcase. Sun on my eyes, steady on my hip. My hair on flip, grab my keys to my grip. Nothing but strict Benjamins in my money clip. GLM, yeah, you know I'm running it. Challenge me, I complete many tasks. Focus with my mind right, going down the right path. It costs to be the boss. Ice frost, watch me shine. Who am I?
Your name is Reggie, but I want to call you Tracy. Can I call you by your first name?
She said, can you give me?
Not attempt to adjust your picture. We are controlling the transmission.
Reggie, but
Hey boy, we're in control.
I want to call
Hey,
you
look,
Tracy.
I can see my voice.
She said, can you keep a secret? You the one I wanna frequent. You get me wet. Let's be friends with benefits and let's not have no regrets. We meet up where we meet at. I take it, you give me that. It happens and we leave, that's where we leave. That when it's over, it's over. Don't nobody need closure. If you calling now, don't call back, don't call over and over. When you say that you agree that we don't need to keep in touch, I'ma say let's get it, baby, then you know you free to touch. I'm like, yeah, baby, you about to make me mad, man. I'm about to sing love songs, that's what I'm good at. I'ma come like Santa with that big bag. Can't get juvenile, like look it over there. That's my bitch, yeah. Like what you afraid of? You gon' be my main love. I'ma play with the weather, I'ma make it sunny, make it rain. Let's walk the streets, I'll make it feel safe. When you're with me, babe, let's show a little bit of PDA.
Sure. America. Babylon. America. Babylon. He said it's bigger. Big Lambo. Live. I just wanna break some glass. America could kiss my ass. We built this country on our back. I just wanna break some glass. They stole us and stole the land. We built this country with our hands. I just wanna break some glass. All we needed was love, but all they ever gave us was trust. I just wanna
Bossiana. She ain't about the drama. If it ain't about the money, you can save it for your mama. Bossiana, kitchen bags. She be getting money cause it's just a habit. Bossiana. She ain't looking for no handouts. She ain't looking for no clout. She ain't looking for no handouts. She ain't looking for no clout. Bossiana.
Impossible to understand these dudes, man. It's impossible to understand what they do under the culture. It's impossible to understand how you saying you real but you fake. You saying Fendi but you fake. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you out here getting busy, huh? Caught you snitching, huh? Oh, you trapping, you the plug, huh? You a thug, huh? Say you rapping with a boss, though. Pockets scored, though. Oh, you stacking all that dough, though. Much you told, though. I'm a Fendi, that's for show, though. Play the low, though. When it gets me, that's a no-no. You got no flow. Oh, you out here getting busy, huh? Caught you snitching, huh? Oh, you trapping, you the plug, huh? You a thug, huh? Say you rapping with a boss, though. Pockets caught, though. Oh, you stacking all that dough, though. What you told, though. I'm a Fendi, that's for show, though. Play the low, though. When it gets me, that's a no-no. You got no flow. Oh, you out here getting busy, huh? Caught you snitching, huh? Oh, you trapping, you the plug, huh? You a thug, huh? Say you rapping with a boss.
If you want your music played on Industry Convo 101, send it to DJ Gates at email at djjgates@gmail.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Industry Conversations 101. Shouts out to Just Trap. Hope y'all enjoyed that commercial. I love supporting entrepreneurs and definitely seeing everyone, from especially from my area, South Carolina, doing well as well. So let me check in with my boy DJ Gates. Gates, how you feeling? You on mute? I can't hear you.
You hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right.
How you doing?
Hey.
Hey. So I know last week we talked about the Big 50 movie, and we kind of got into the discussion about, you know, um, about her story, and pretty much how the story was actually really told very well by BET. Um, but I think there was so much stuff that was basically going on this week, especially with the Fat Joe conversation. Did you
Yeah.
have the opportunity to listen to the Fat Joe conversation? Because they're bringing Rap City back. Shouts out to Tigger because I'm so
Yeah.
happy, that they're bringing Video Soul back. They're bringing Rap City back. And on this episode of Rap City, there was a conversation between Fat Joe and Big Tigger.
Yeah.
And pretty much the conversation was who would he say the artist now reminds him of, I guess, back in the day artists. And Fat Joe said that the baby reminded him of Tupac.
Yeah, I heard about the baby. I mean, I actually kind of agree.
Okay. So I mean,
there's similarities. There's some similarities.
right. There's a lot of similarities there. For me, this is what I think. I think the similarities there because the baby is very outspoken, just as Tupac was. And remember,
Yeah.
Tupac was very, back in the 90s, he was very outspoken. He was very open about how he felt about politics, how he felt about everything.
Yeah.
And, the baby situation, even, when it comes to the LGBTQ community, the whole fiasco with that.
Yeah.
So I mean, what is your partake? I mean, how do you feel that his similarities is, similar to how Tupac was, before his death?
Well, what I like about the one thing about the baby, like you can get close to him.
Yeah.
That's something about
Yeah.
Tupac. Like you saw Tupac in the street, you can get close to him. He wasn't. I mean, of course, the baby Pac got his bodyguard, but you
Right.
get really close to him. That was something that people was able to get close to Tupac. Tupac was like,
Right.
a person that was up in your face. So you wanted to see something in your face. So that's what
Right.
I can say about the baby. The similarities. Yes, they speak their mind. They don't
Yeah.
hold their tongue. They both make good music.
Yeah. I mean, I have.
Like, even if you don't like some of the subject matters he rap about, he can
Right.
rap. He
Right.
can rap. So I can't take
Right,
that
no
from the
doubt.
baby. I actually saw him one time when I was in North Carolina at a fleet conference. I saw him. So, and that's when he was walking around with I think a pamper. Cause he was walking around with a diaper, like a pamper. Or
Right.
I don't know what that was. Like that was something he was trying to get people to catch his attention. But that was
Right.
his thing. But yeah, I'm glad he switched that up.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm glad that he switched that up as well, and kind of, I guess, kind of made his style look a little bit better than what he had previously. Because
like,
instead of the diaper, he had the little figurine that was pretty much on stage with him. That was his hype man too.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, how you feel about the Dave Chappelle situation?
It's
About the whole canceling,
it's
canceling
up and down.
situation.
I think my thing is comedians are good when they speak their mind. So when you're sitting up there and he's basically telling like, oh, you don't want me to say this, you don't want me to say that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He basically trying to say like, you can't hold nobody's message back, like how he feels. If
Right.
you don't believe in what he believes in, like and everything I feel what he was saying, I didn't feel like it was so much he was taking a shot at them. He just wanted to say like people have the right to say what they want to say. Freedom of speech.
Right. Basically, I mean, it's comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's comedy, and I guess back in the day, when we had the Richard Pryor, you had the Bill Cosbys, they even Bernie Mac, a lot of them, Robert Harris, Martin, all of them touched on those type of subjects.
Yeah.
And I guess like for me, I guess it's just now everybody wants to be sensitive. Everybody wants to be sensitive, and there's the narrative there about the cancel culture. Like everybody wants to cancel people now. Everybody wants to protest. Everybody wants to pretty much feel like if you say something or wrong or however, they're just going to cancel you, period. And I think that what has happened now is that, I mean, I'm glad to see that the LGBTQ community are getting their just due, meaning that it's more accepted instead of people basically being in the closet. You get what I'm saying? Because now it's like they have a voice finally, but at the same time, I think the cancel culture is just really just taking over. But it went in reverse for R. Kelly, though. It went in reverse for R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So his record sales shot up since the verdict.
Yeah. I think somebody else that same situation happened for somebody else too, I believe.
Yeah, it does because here's the thing, and I think what people fail to realize, especially in the industry, what people fail to realize, the newer generation of ears don't know his music. Okay, they are the new generation now that are streaming music. This generation now they're taking over with streaming music. Whether it's YouTube, whether if it's Spotify, Pandora. So they are curious. they're so curious, so they want to hear what we heard back in the 90s. I don't know if anybody that's watching tonight remember the R. Kelly that came out early 90s. And I remember when he was with Public Announcement.
Public announcement, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were, it was the same vibe. It was the same. I mean, when he came out with vibe, I mean,
Yeah.
it was, same guy. So at the same time, for me, it's just like sometimes it's hard to believe, but then again, it's not that hard to believe because I do know the darker side of the industry, and I do know,
Yeah.
and I've heard some of the stories of what goes on, especially with those. And then, it's possible that they're saying that, that he may expose other people. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm with that or not. It's
I
he may
mean,
it's a lie.
I think we all out. He's not the only
Yeah.
one. That's my thing. Him doing the one telling everybody, "Oh, I know more people." I don't know. He should be doing something. But we need to bring them more out because this been going on for many years. He's not the first. He's gonna be the last. Somebody's trying it right now, and they're from Hollywood, from music, and there's somebody doing something in some business. It could be helping somebody in a corporate job right now that's getting abused right now.
Exactly. And I do feel that the more and more that a lot of these things are exposed, people won't feel as as like that they don't have a voice, because again, we think about it as well, that where we have so many individuals who are afraid to say things or say anything, because of the fact that they feel that it's embarrassing, or someone's going to say that they're lying, this can't be happening to you, etc. So I mean, it's a lot. I think when the Me Too movement took place, I think it gave people the voice to be able to express themselves, especially around that topic, around that subject. And I think that probably be a good topic for a show too. But at the same time, you got so many things that are going on. This is as well, on those lines of what we're talking about right now is this is Domestic Violence Month, just as well as Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. So there are a lot of things I think that are just coming out right now pertaining to those things that we see that affect people on a daily basis. Even with the documentary that came out, the Me Too movement, then the documentary about R. Kelly, and it's on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So, and it is sad because a lot of these people start coming out of the woodwork testifying. And I guess, he was just like, look, if y'all gonna tell on me, then I guess I just tell on everybody else who was in on it as well.
Yeah. I mean, but what makes it bad about R. Kelly's situation is the circle he was with. I agree. Going on. So it's like, how do you look at them?
Right.
Because we know what R. Kelly was, but you was around him. You made money with him. So how do you feel?
Exactly. Yeah. And that, for me, the mindset that I have is you were around him. Were you saying anything when this was taking place?
Yeah.
You saw things, but you weren't vocal about these things when they were taking place. So it's just so hard to believe, like, that you would just stand there and watch this stuff happen and not really say something, not really do anything. So, even when the lawyers start dropping off, I knew that was a bad sign. That's always a bad sign when your lawyer starts or begins to resign, or your publicist resigns.
Yeah,
that's typical because there's something brewing. That means or whatsoever that there's going to be some bad press later on. They don't want to be associated with it. So, yeah, definitely. But let's talk about these independent artists that you were spinning. This was new. This was a new crew this time.
Okay,
So let me know about what was up with that. I heard a few.
J Hood. He represent Yonkers. He used to be with D Block.
Okay.
Now he's on his own, and he's also from North Carolina. He's born from North Carolina, so he's from where you at. So he got new music.
Yeah.
I got another girl from Baltimore. Her name was Ambitious. So she got new music. And I played my son's record.
Really?
Yes. So I play his records. So he's putting out music.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get him out there. So
Yeah,
so
definitely.
business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I play the kid that's from. He's signed to Dane Grease. He have a record label called I forgot his record label, but he signed to Dane Grease, and he does a lot of production. He did production for DMX, The Locks, and his name is Bigger Trigger. He's from Harlem, so
Okay.
a lot of new artists.
Yeah. And like I said, I love it. I love the fact that that's what we do here at Industry Conversations 101. To all my independent artists, get us your music. We would love to play it on the show. Yeah, to put them out there, put everybody out there, and that's what we do here at Industry Conversations. We talk about industry, the things that are going on in the industry. Also, we talk about the game. We talk about pointers to help you as independent artists. Myself as an independent artist, also DJ Gates, who is a well-known DJ in the area. Also, he is has a great ear for music, and also will give you some pointers as well, on what you would need to do as an independent artist to get your spins going.
Yes.
Yeah, I think and Gates, I think the more and more artists, continue to venture out on their own, like you said, put themselves out there like independently and things like that. I think the more and more that we'll start to see a whole new wave. Because don't get me wrong, I love this new wave that I'm hearing, but I love to hear new music. I think it's like music to my ears, like fresh air, just to hear new stuff.
Yes, it's definitely. And then one thing about when you're a new artist, and then you don't gotta go through too much of the industry. There's really no rules.
Yeah.
That's the lead. Like when you come in the industry, when you being signed, they wanted you to sound like a Leah Baker, or you had to have a voice like a Patti LaBelle.
Yes.
Or you gotta speak when you rap. You had to have a message. If you was high at the time, you gotta sound like Public Enemy. Or you gotta sound like Tribe Called Quest.
Yes, but you know what? The verses that's coming up this week, and we had DJ Skaz on the show, Skaz Digger last week, who is a celebrity DJ for Big Daddy Kane. The ultimate verses for hip hop is coming on this weekend, this Sunday, October 17th. KRS-One versus Big Daddy Kane. So this is going to be epic.
Yes.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Gates, we're gonna definitely have a conversation that Thursday about that.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So those who know KRS-One knows that KRS-One was a lyrical dude. He was that. I say power to the people.
Yes,
he spoke
had those records. He had street records.
Dope
his records.
Yes.
Records. No, he was a. When you think of MC, you look at KRS-One.
Exactly. And then Kane was the smooth operator. Kane was, to me, that dude that had the edge, but he was that type of dude. He was so cool, so suave. Like, he talked about going out having fun and loving women. He and LL, I think, was like neck and neck. But Kane had that edge because he went there with Madonna and all kind of other stuff. But Kane had that edge, He had that edge, and he could dance like Kane could dance like nobody's business. And he still got it. He's still energetic. Had the opportunity to meet Kane several times, and actually shared the stage with him once, and actually just sitting back in awe. Like, Kane is definitely the entertainer. As they talk about like Dougie Fresh is the entertainer, but Kane is an entertainer as well. Kane takes you on a journey. I think each time when he touches that stage, he really has something to bring to the table. Like, you're jamming all night long. Like, he reinvents himself every time when he touches the stage. And like I said, it's gonna be interesting because when we talked last week, we talked about how the DJ sets the tone. And I am so hyped to see exactly what this is going to look like, because this is for the old heads. This is for old school hip hop.
Yeah.
You youngsters have to take notes on this one.
Yes. Now, my thing is Kane gonna bring out Scat or he gonna bring out Mr. C?
Oh, yeah. That's gonna, yeah,
That's the thing I want to
yeah.
see is KRS One gonna bring out D Nights.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is gonna be crazy.
So like you got legendary DJs that was affiliated with them. So that would be
Yeah.
epic as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely,
I would love to
definitely.
see it.
Yeah, me too. I am so hyped about that. I think that is that I think verses get better and better every every segment that they do. And I think now that we have kind of evolved from the pandemic, it's like we are now like moving on to where verses is now like a concert, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like a live concert where you got people in the crowd, people in the crowd walking. So yeah, I mean this is gonna be a good one. This is
Yeah.
gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Who
yeah,
you
but
who you would like to see next after that? Who you
oh,
want to see an
okay.
R&B? Who he did the
I want
rap.
to see the producers battle. I want to
What-
see
okay.
a producer battle.
That's what I would like to see. Any producer in mind?
So okay, so I'm sick of this back and forth going on between Diddy and JD.
Okay.
And like JD said, JD has sat in rooms that Puffy can't pay to get
Yes.
in. Okay.
Yes.
JD has hits after hits, and happy birthday Usher as well.
Yes.
So the thing is like he's written hit after hit. He's got Usher, he's got Mariah Carey. He's worked with the best of the best of them.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong, Puffy has Bad Boy. He has Big, all that up under his belt. But JD has the writer skills. So like he
Yes.
said, he sat in the rooms that Puffy can't pay to get in because he actually wrote music for people,
Yeah.
some of the top artists in this
Yeah.
world. So yeah, so it's one of those things where he's man-made. Like this dude is something serious. You know.
Yeah.
JD's kind of short too. Like I mean, I don't know if you ever seen him in person, but JD's real
Yeah, I
short.
saw him. I saw
Yeah,
him.
but I mean, he's a genius, man. He's making an empire for himself, especially with So Def and turning it into reality TV stars.
Yeah.
As well, because he's responsible for Lotto. A lot of people don't know that
Yeah.
Lotto started off of one of his reality TV shows, and the thing about it, I guess, that for me is to see how Lotto has evolved.
Yeah.
Lotto went through a lot of stuff because the thing about it is that there was some controversy between Lotto and JD because I think if I remember it correctly, she was basically saying that she did not need social death. Like she was
Yeah.
already popping, she didn't need social death. So she has literally like evolved. I don't know. What was your partake on the hip hop awards? The BET Hip Hop Awards.
It's me personally. It's not for me.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Me either.
I don't think they. I mean, I like what they did for Nelly. I like
Yeah.
that part. What they did for Nelly, and he performed the songs. But there's a lot of rappers out there that's really good, and I think BET just don't give them the light.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, and a lot of them is females too. There's a lot of
Yeah.
females out there. They don't show them no light, unless they are Cardi B or Megan. They gotta be where they at.
Right, exactly. And from what I saw on the Hip Hop Awards was that um the ladies did rule the show that night. The ladies ruled the show completely. The cipher was a bit weak.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I'm used to. And it seems like the performances are starting to look a lot like MTV-ish, Grammy-ish.
Yeah.
When remember back in the day, the hip hop awards were very rugged. The hip hop awards kind of
Yeah.
like had the edge; it took you there.
Yeah.
I love the fact. Now, one thing I can say, I love that they have cleaned it up some because if we can take it back to the late '90s of basically of how the hip hop awards. Remember the Source Awards,
Source Awards. Yeah.
how kind of like rough that was, but they cleaned it up more to where it was like now it's like okay, it's really, really, really an award show
It's
because if look,
polished.
yeah, it's polished now.
Mhm.
The performances I felt like was a little bit Grammy-ish because it was all the way there. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't the typical BET
Yeah.
type show because the typical BET shows were more on the realms of it was a concert, but it was more like a jazz session. You had more
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean? And now it's like again, Grammy-ish, MTV type stuff. So it's just, you know what I mean, again, like it's one of those type of things where you look at it and you're like, okay, well, where did BET actually go? Where
Yeah.
did it evolve? You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
at the same time, like for me, it was just one of those things where I'm sitting to myself and I'm thinking like, okay, maybe, how they're going, in the direction that they're going with BET now, because I know that they're part of Viacom. And
Yeah.
Viacom, for who doesn't know, Viacom is houses VH1 and MTV.
Mhm.
So when you make the connection there, it's like, okay, I can see why. You
Yeah.
know, I can definitely see why, that this took place. But again, so many things are just changing and evolving.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's evolving for the worst or for the better?
It's involving good for mainstream can see it.
Got it.
Where I
Okay.
can say like no, like if you want to put it there, you can say white America can appreciate it more. They can be like, oh,
Okay.
I can embrace it. For us who know, especially for us who knows hip hop, that's our background, that's our culture. We
Right.
might not like it too much because it
Right.
looks commercial, very
Yes.
commercial. And
Agreed.
that was one thing about hip hop artists who used to say, I don't want to be commercial.
Right.
But that's where it's
Right.
leading to because music sells.
Mm-hmm.
It sells products, it sells movies, it sells everything.
Right.
So it has to be polished. It's not something that you go out into the backyard and listen to it no more. It's worldwide.
Right. Yeah. And I think now, like, I think we talked about this before, Gates, where
Yeah.
we see so many one hit wonders. We see
Yeah.
so many they were talking about, pretty much about how Soldier Boy came. And remember, he took over the internet when Soldier Boy came out. And like he
Yeah.
was like, I'm the first to ever do it. I'm the first to ever do it.
Yeah.
So, and he was. I mean, when he came out with what it was,
Crank that.
Crank That.
Yeah.
So when he came out with Crank That, it was like everybody was on it. Remember? So it was like he used MySpace. He used the internet to
Yeah.
pretty much, break the mold and get into the industry.
Yeah.
But after that one song, he had maybe one or two more songs, and then
Yeah.
he just died out for a while.
Yeah.
Then he came back 10 years later, put out a song through TikTok. Everybody,
Yeah.
it's like boom, it's all over again.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those things where it's good that he could revive himself the way that he did,
Yeah.
and still be relevant. But then you got Bow Wow. Bow Wow died out after the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
You've got another artist that oh God, I can't think of his name. Young Jock. Young Jock came out early
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah.
He died out. It's like they came in, they got their money, and they were gone.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything else, in regards to these artists. And I think along the way, and I know now they got the Millennium Tour, aka used to be the Scream Tour.
Yeah.
And Ashanti's on that tour now. And I don't know,
Oh, okay.
have you taken the look at the footage of her on this tour?
No, I have not seen it. I know that she was doing she went to I know there was a day she went to a Fat Joe party. So I know she performed at his party and stuff like that. Ashanti, like, yeah, I mean, one thing about Ashanti, she can always come at any era because she make good music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean she does. I think that they were trying to compare Summer Walker, and when I say this, Gates, do not come for my neck, okay?
Okay.
This is what they're saying, okay?
Okay.
They were comparing. They're saying that Summer Walker is the new age Mary J. Blige.
I'm gonna be devil advocate. Now, all right. When you first heard Mary J. Blige, now I'm gonna tell everybody, when they first heard Mary J. Blige, they thought she was the it girl.
Yes. Yes.
But when she performed her music live, did you really enjoy her singing live?
No.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So her songs would, now Mary can sing. But
Right.
then you couldn't enjoy her music like that because she couldn't sing it the way you heard it on those records. Like, wow,
Exactly.
Real Love was great. But then when she sang Real Love, like, no. Now she can sing those records now. So I remember at one time people said Keisha Cole was supposed to be the next Mary J. Blige.
Right. Right. Because Keisha, okay, if you take a look at what Keisha's content was.
Yeah.
Keisha's content was the My Life Mary. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you go on the journey of Mary, you see how Mary evolved. When Mary was hurt, when Mary was in pain,
yeah,
Mary made records that went through the roof. Everybody and their mama was singing it. Like you could tell when somebody was going through something or they was hurt.
Yeah.
You heard Not Gonna Cry, I don't know how many times. Okay.
Yes.
You heard the My Life album playing on repeat because through the documentary, like she said, she was going through some tough stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Share My World was a continuation of My Life, but Share My World didn't hit as much as, it didn't sting as much as My Life did. But Share My World kind of opened Mary up into a new a new audience, because then, you know, here it is, R&B was starting to change. It was more pop. It was starting to evolve and Mary was riding that wave.
Yeah.
I know some of the writers that was on Share My World, and for me, I enjoyed the Share My World album. I don't know about anybody else, but I did, because I loved seeing Mary evolve as an artist. And she's one of my, you know, she's probably one of my favorite artists. Like the Mary that she was when she first came out is not the Mary that we see now, because the Mary we see now is dancing and enjoying life. Okay. Yeah. The Mary that came out back in the early 90s, she just stood there on the stage. She was this shy girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was this shy girl. And then when she kind of like let her guard down and let her fans into her life, I think that's when we really start to see Mary evolve as an artist.
Yeah. Share My World sound, when you go from My Life, you hear the healing.
Yes. Exactly.
People don't understand. It can't be My Life. My Life was the hurt album. Share My World was you start hearing the healing. Mary, the album, you hear her evolve. Like she was a whole new woman when you heard Mary, the album. I like Share My World, and I like the album Mary. Like especially the song that Lauryn Hill wrote for her. I think.
Yeah.
So like. You heard the growth. Like I like Mary.
Yeah.
I like her, and I wish Faith Evans would have had a little bit more of that. Like had more of the writers that Mary had.
Right. Right.
Could you imagine the story Faith could have told? Having a husband as Biggie, and you lost him. You went through cheating. You dealt with death. Faith would have had a great story to write for music.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. But all right, Gates, as always, thank you so much. For always being with me on the show.